Hello everyone, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you guys today about why I make these videos, okay? Now, the best reason is because it's fun for me. I enjoy doing it, okay? Obviously I'm not getting paid for it, so I enjoy doing it. Now, aside from that, yes, I do get some other benefits, mostly for my customers, because a lot of times the people that I train, what I'll do is, first of all, most of the people that I train are beginners, and what I'll do is after I train them initially, I'll send them links to a couple of videos, which kind of, serve to reinforce the points that I went over earlier that day. Okay, so that's one way that I use it, and then what I'll do is, I'll say, okay, well, here's my channel. Here's a bunch of other videos, about like 300 of them. Look through my videos and let me know what seems to interest you the most. Do you like tactical training? Do you like precision target shooting? Do you like doing competition type stuff under a timer? Do you like moving and shooting? So that's another way that I use these videos. It's for my customers to kind of decide and help me plan out their next training session. Okay. Now, there's other benefits to it as well. One of the benefits is that it's a way for me to coach myself, because a lot of times when I'm at different locations and I'm training people and I'm doing demonstrations, obviously I have no way of looking at myself and seeing, am I looking the way I want to look? Is my technique really that good, or are there some flaws in that technique? So by doing these videos, by doing the different, tactical training exercises, I'm able to observe myself, and I'm able to see, if I need to make any corrections. And in fact, a lot of these videos that I do, I will typically, redo the video 4, 5, sometimes even 6 times before I get it perfect. Now, a lot of times it's maybe I just misspoke. I said something that was a little off, so I need to redo the video, or I actually made a mistake. I stepped in the wrong spot, or I moved in the wrong direction. So that's another reason to redo the video. A lot of times the camera just fails or doesn't quite get the scene right, so I have to redo the video. I don't really use any video editing. When I do my videos, I just shoot it, and I view it, and I decide whether it's, I'm going to keep it and post it or redo it, and a lot of times I have to go through it 4 or 5 times. So through that process, I'm actually training myself. I'm actually going through the exercises, so it's kind of an incentive for me to train as well. Okay, so that's another way that I use these videos and the benefit that they serve to me. Okay, now, of course, if any of you guys out there watching this who I've never actually met in person are getting a benefit out of this, I'm perfectly happy about that too. I mean, a lot of you guys are on the other side of the country, and there's no chance that we will ever meet. Okay, and I'm perfectly cool for that. And one of the things that I want you guys to know, and I kind of bring into this, as far as my perspective, before I ever got into gun training, I was into sword training, and I still am. I'm a competitive sword trainer. If there's videos posted on my channel of me in full armor doing medieval combat, and I've been studying that for over 20 years now. And one of the things with medieval combat is that there's not much of it is documented. Okay, so in many cases we've had to recreate a lot of it based on clues that we've gotten throughout history. Sometimes sketches, sometimes text with language that isn't quite clear. See, the thing with medieval combat is, first of all, swords and weapons were not available to the common people. Okay, they did not want peasants, having weapons and training of and training on those weapons. Okay, they wanted to keep the peasant population underfoot, basically. So for that reason, a lot of this information was not made public and in many cases where it was documented, it's almost kind of cryptic. They they almost spoke in code. Okay, so that's part of the background that I bring to this. Over the last 10 years or so, or even actually over the last 20 years, basically since 2001, since the September 11th attacks, basically the war on terrorism has basically been a special forces war. Okay, basically we've had a lot of high-end special forces guys that with high training, that not only were they trained to fight these terrorists around the world, but they actually developed a lot of the techniques that prior to all this combat that we've done in the last 20 years, a lot of it was theoretical. A lot of it was not proven in combat. A lot of it was actually thrown out in favor of stuff that actually works better, that they kind of developed along the way. So basically over the last 20 years, we basically have created some 20 million vets out of the war on terrorism, and and basically in a way we've benefited from their knowledge, because all these guys came back to us, and basically they've shared that information with us, and basically that's where I've gotten a lot of my training. I've gotten my training, not all my training, but a lot of my training from these guys that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan. I've been a beneficiary of their knowledge and their experience. Okay, and it's what I want to do is I want to pass it on. I don't want that knowledge and that information becoming lost. Okay, so that's why I try to document as many of the drills and the techniques as possible, and I uploaded on a number of different servers. Not just YouTube and Gunstreamer and UTG, but there's even there's a couple of other places where I also uploaded to, and and I also recognize that at a lot of these places, people are actually able to download it and save it. One of the things I know is that, like, with all the different videos out there, if you look, let's say 100 years into the future, 200 years into the future, most of them will not survive. Most of them will, be lost over time. But my thought is that the more videos we put out there in circulation, the more downloaded, the more shared, the higher the chance that a lot of this information will be saved. Because if there's one thing that's for sure is, the government is not really comfortable with all you guys out there watching this knowing all this stuff. Okay, so and that's my job, to make the government uncomfortable by sharing this information with you guys. Okay, so that's part of mindset. That's what why I enjoy doing this. And I come into this from that medieval background where training information in the past was really hard to come by, and I want to make sure that it's available to the public. Those are my thoughts. Post some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys next time.